Hey, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you for your patience. I went to go sign in and I had to do a little update.
No worries. I gotta close my door.
Oh, I don't know why my Fathom note taker. Go away. Okay. I have not heard from anybody else. I know Lachelle is in Greece right now doing her own retreat. And I haven't heard back from Chris and I haven't heard back from Jennifer. So we're going to get started. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
It's a good day. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, it's nice outside.
It is beautiful. I did turn my heat on for the first time this morning because I was a little chilly in here, but um
Mine is on too.
yeah, I don't usually do that, but anyway. Okay, so I want you each to go and introduce yourself and say how you show up in service to the world. And then I would like a win, please, from each of you from our last call that we had.
Sure, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
So I work with people shamanically, energy wise, to clear and expand their fields and become connected even more closely to the essence of who they are so they can show up in the world, truly planting the seeds of their genius into the world and having that ripple out into the world. I do this through a one-on-one work as well as a group work, including a year-long medicine wheel transformational journey that I'm expanding to leverage and work even more deeply. I particularly love working with women who are creatives, artists, visionaries who know that not only do they want to bring their gifts to the world, but they want it for the expansion and of consciousness in the world. And let's see, wins. This whole week, I've been doing a lot of reaching out. And that was part of my win because it's been kind of, crossing the procrastination threshold and kind of doing it even when I don't feel ready, quote unquote. But last night with the full moon, I noticed like a teeny bit of almost like a depression, and I realized that that was my sign, not that anything was wrong, but that I needed to back off a little bit from pushing energy and allow myself to be more in embodiment and kind of being rather than doing. And you know, so that's my win.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to send all three of you actually a little Instagram thing that I sent the mastermind this morning that talked about like that being available to bring it in versus constantly like striving
Yeah,
energy. So I'll send that to you when we're done with the call.
yeah. Full moon always does me the favor of, pointing out the areas where it's like, okay, chillax, Tina.
Yep, exactly. Okay, pass it on to somebody.
How about Lisa?
All right. Good. Well, afternoon. So I work with midlife women who are overwhelmed by all the health information that is out there. I help them simplify their habits and create an individual plan that actually works for them and help them reclaim their health, energy, and confidence to live the life they want. So my win this week, gosh, I kind of feel like you, Tatina. I'm not feeling my best today. I'm not feeling great. And so I did the same thing. I just kind of pulled back. I was thinking today, just not too long ago, that my autoimmune disease helps me regulate myself when I'm out
Hmm.
of balance. But I would say my actual big win would be I have somebody who wants to work with me. So basically, my first client, paying client.
Lisa,
Yeah.
yay! And when are they starting?
So we actually haven't gotten that far, but I was at another meeting, a kind of my connections that I'm increasing. And so she said she wants to work with me. And she's a very big connector. So
Lisa,
yeah,
congratulations.
thank you.
Now, quick question I have for you. Are you feeling any resistance to moving forward, to
Oh, yeah,
talking and committing?
big time, because we're working together. She's starting her business. She's retired. So I have all the money that we've talked about.
Oh, was this the
Going-
gal that you didn't think would be a client?
No, this is,
Okay, because I was like,
yeah, nope, it's not her.
okay,
This is another one. But I've probably said that about her also.
okay. Well, we're going to go more into that because I'm not actually teaching today. I'm going to open it up to be coached
Yeah.
for any of you that have some things. So awesome, Lisa. Congratulations. It feels pretty
Yeah,
good, doesn't it?
thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, Linda.
Oh, and really quickly, ADP. You can get it at a local drugstore and on Amazon by this Biotics Research. This is the only time I've traveled that I have not religiously taken ADP. And I take usually right 2 days before I travel, I take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner, not on an empty stomach because it's a hot oil. It's just oregano. And then while I'm traveling, I usually take 4 pills throughout the day. And then again for 2 days when I get home. And this is the first time that I've been sick from traveling. And I can't remember how long. And there was an article that I actually shared with my mastermind that said, I'm not nuts, that there was research done. There's all sorts of really cool stuff happening in the science and tech industry right now with high school and college age students doing research and doing all of these like things. And they have proven that oregano actually kills bacteria much more effectively than antibiotics.
Hmm.
Not surprised.
Yeah. So I say this to you because we're entering cold and flu season
Right.
and all of you are up leveling. And when we up level, our energy is going more towards the energetic versus the physical. And we tend to sometimes slide on taking care of ourselves physically. Run, do not walk. They're just these little pills. I should get an affiliate link, but they're just these little pills and they stink like oregano, but it is the best stuff since sliced bread. There, that's my sales pitch. Okay, Linda, bring us home.
Okay, well, I'm Linda Larson. I'm owner and director of North Idaho Neurotherapy, where science meets compassion with counseling and direct neuro treatment to the brain for any of the issues that we have with challenges in life with mental health, anxiety, depression, traumatic brain injuries, attention and focus. And so love what I do. I particularly love what I do because I don't guess. We don't guess here. The brain tells us what we need to know. So I love that part. And so a win was interesting. I was on a Zoom call with our insurance biller, which is going great. And something that he told me that I did not know that we can do every year as a provider, you can call the insurance companies and request an increase in what they pay. I just thought that they were God and they could do whatever they wanted. Well, not the case. So that was a huge aha and win because we have several insurance billers and I had no idea that you could actually do that and it would happen. So that is a very big win because that means more money.
And that's evidence in
And,
your evidence bank that insurance, because you've had some stories about insurance.
Yes,
Which
and
insurance
now
doesn't hurt to keep it.
this was a huge shift for us to
Yeah.
just, yeah, so my clinic manager is going to be on that and making those phone calls and we can do it every year. And
Fantastic.
they actually do that. So, yeah. And that just happened yesterday and I'm still kind of in shock with it, but that's really cool. So anyway, that's Matt.
That's awesome.
I win.
Okay, so what I'm going to do for each of you, because I've been doing a lot of playing lately in the AI world, and I'll share some more things with you later about that. But I'm going to take the transcript from this and I'm going to take your introductions and I'm going to put them into ChatGPT and ask it to make it more succinct and more bold.
Thank you.
And I'm going to send it to you because I think,
I like
and you
it.
may not get it today because I have to leave. I have one more call right after this. And then I joined the United Way, North Idaho United Way, and we have a meeting today in Coeur d'Alene at 4. So I need to take out and start driving. But but you'll get it this week. Because I have found that it's been very helpful. And I want to share this with all of you, like coaches that you have, myself included, sometimes when you go into Chat GPT, you can put what you're wanting to say and then say, please. And what I tend to do is I'll say, please incorporate this, make it more succinct, and use Andrea Franco's boldness, use some of Peter Crone's woo-woo magic, and David Nagel's sense of urgency.
I love that.
Or I'll just say their brand voices. And it pops it out and it says things. I massage it, right? But then it helps me. I'm like, oh wow, I never thought to say it that way, right? Because I will say all of us, myself included, need to create something a little more succinct and less. Now I'm going to say this with a forked tongue, less verbiage that is more our own vernacular versus vernacular that people that we want to work with understand. Now,
Yeah.
some of us, like Tatina, wants to work with people that understand what a shamanic healer is. She doesn't want to start at ground zero. So for her to say that, that's okay, because it's going to weed out the people that don't know what that is. Right. But then if you're wanting to work with women, Lisa, that want their energy back and their confidence back, then it helps hone in a little bit tighter into something, and putting the prompt in there to focus on what people desire versus what's the pain points, right? Because we've all seen the marketing crap that's out there all the time about what's the pain points, right? Like you're going to see some changes in my stuff too. I'm not going to talk about people being stuck anymore because frankly, I don't want to work with people that want to stay stuck. Right? So thinking about what is it that your client wants versus where are they at, which is completely opposite of what most marketing talks about. But that's what's digging in through the all of the noise that's out there, because people are resonating. They want something different. They don't want to be pinpointed out and say, yeah, I feel this way. Sometimes it's okay to say, like if you feel worn out and stressed out, it's because you're not taking care of yourself. Let's talk, right? But to get yourself to stand out from all the noise that's out there, right? So I'm going to do that for you guys because I'm feeling the need to do that. So I want to open this up to you all in the next 45 minutes. What is hot topics on you? And I'm going to start with Lisa because I'm going to pick on her nicely because I know you don't feel so great today, but about the resistance you might be feeling. And I saw Tatina shaking her head, right? Like I think we'll all resonate from some of this. And I know sometimes I learn a whole lot, not sometimes, but every time I've heard other people be coached, I get so much out of it, right? Because there's things that resonate for me too. So Lisa, we're going to start with you. And so you have this woman, you did the connection calls. She wants to work with you. How did you leave the conversation? Was it just like, oh God, she wants to work with me, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore? Was it, oh, she wants to talk more about it? Like, tell me where did you end it?
Well, afterwards, I thought I didn't really end it. I didn't do any commitment. So we were at another meeting for another topic. And as we were walking out, and she is somebody I'd reached out to with my connections. I knew her from a previous job. And so reached out to her. We met. Then she's starting
When
out
did you meet? Was this last week?
No, we met originally like a month ago. And
But where was this event that she said that to you?
this was this Sunday.
Okay, perfect.
So
Thank you.
on Sunday, yeah, as we were walking out, she's like, oh, I was thinking that I'd like to start working with you. And so we talked a little bit, and then I never solidified, okay, let's meet on a specific day, or didn't talk anything like that. It's just like, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be good. And then we went our separate ways. And so it's on my list to reach out to her. So I have that actually on today
Perfect.
to do. So
what scares you? Are you going to call her? Are you going to text her?
I was planning on texting her.
Okay. So what scares you about texting her to set up a time to meet, right? Because then
That part doesn't scare me. The part that does is the money part. Because in my mind, we're both retired. She's retired now. She's trying to start a new business. She's a good connector. She's somebody I know. We weren't really friends, more acquaintances from my old job, but still. So that's
So
the
you're
money
bringing your
part.
money stories into it, right?
Yeah.
Which, no offense, but you just spent 20 grand with me to work with me as a private client. She's got money. It's okay. Right?
Well, she doesn't necessarily, yeah, that's true.
Now, the reason I'm saying that is anytime there's confusion or fear, there's usually an untruth,
Right.
right?
And
So
she
the
could have,
untruth,
and
huh?
she could have money because I don't know if she has money or not.
Ding, ding, ding. Because the same holds true where you don't know if she doesn't have any money.
Right. And that's being,
Yeah.
this is what I've been telling myself, that's being kind of arrogant to think she wouldn't have money.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of judgment on yourself. It's just a fact. She either does have money or she doesn't. You don't know
Right.
either way,
Yeah.
right? But we tend to go towards, so I would lovingly invite you to take the arrogant part out of it because that's pretty harsh judgment because ultimately we're trained to think that we don't have enough money. We don't have enough, right? It
Right.
has nothing to do with money. We don't have enough. And so we automatically place that on there. I think I've shared this story before. So Linda, this might be a duplicate for you, but Titina, I don't know if you've heard this either, but I have a past client and she has okayed for me to use her name. Amanda Yoder, she's a massage therapist. When she came into my office, she was working at one of these schools for like troubled youth and was getting her whatever it is. I don't know what they get in the state to be able to be a massage therapist. And she came in and she was talking to me and I'm like, there is no way that I can even offer to her to work with her as a private client because she just doesn't even have any money. And because I'm such a great salesperson, joking aside, she looks at me and she goes, Debbie, I can't afford not to hire you. And I'm like, oh, thank you, universe, right? Like such a good reminder to not put my own filters on and judge, right? And she has surpassed her financial goal and been traveling more, which like for her, she makes money by having her hands on people. She now has multiple streams of income. She did the work. You know, she's got a freeze dried thing that she's doing now. She's got her strawberry patch that brings in a lot of money in the summer, and she's doing her massage therapy. Right. So, like, we put on our own glasses and our own filters about it, which you're acknowledging. So, hats off to you and congratulations for identifying that. But if you can then start to use the tools that I'm even talking about and going, okay, I'm assuming she doesn't have money. Don't beat yourself up and call yourself arrogant. It has nothing to do with it. It's just factual. She either has money or she doesn't. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't place a judgment on it. We go in and we talk to them about what they want, what's getting in their way of stopping them from what they want, what happens if they don't have the change that they want, and how you can help fill that gap. Then, if they say, because 99.9% of the time, all three of you did it to me, you say, oh, well, none of you said I need to go talk to my spouse, but you're like, oh, I need time to think about this, or, this or that. Then you just like, if you believe that what you do truly creates more life, then it's about, look, I'm not trying to pressure. I just have a question for you because part of what you would pay me is to help coach you along your health journey. And so it's about bringing up questions to make you think a little differently is what's really going to change for you in 24 hours. Right? Like I know how the brain works. And what happens is then you start seeping energy because you're thinking about it when you already know, you already have a decision made in your mind. There's just fear because maybe they, like I wouldn't keep going with the client on there. I would shut up and let them talk. But because maybe it's fear. And I want to ask you, how many of you, like 10 years ago, spent 10 or 15 grand on yourself other than education? Because that's acceptable in society to spend that kind of money on a master's or a PhD. Right. And if you think back to the first time you invested in yourself that was outside the norm, like those feelings that come up, right? And that's all that's happening with that person. So, can you say with pretty certainty that she either has money or she doesn't?
Yes,
And
that,
you don't know.
right, exactly.
And sometimes, now I want to ask all three of you. Let's say your cash flow is running a little tight. What's one thing you would not give up?
My gym membership.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a dance class.
Class, Linda?
2-hour monthly massage.
Okay. So even when cash flow is tight, mine's my house cleaner and she had to quit because of her knee. So if anybody knows a house cleaner that's looking for work, because I am tired of mopping my own floors. But like, I want you to think about that, right? Like that has a value for you. You are willing, and I'm going to joke about this because I don't know, but I don't think any of you would eat ramen noodles, but like you would probably eat ramen noodles before you would give that up because it's that important to you. It's that life-giving. The same thing holds true about your service, right? It holds a value that you don't know what that value is because you have not lived the same life experience that that person has. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's where sometimes it's all about like taking the judgment out of things, taking the judgment out of judging ourselves because we think a certain way about it, and taking, because you're not judging that other person in a way like you want to be able to help them, but there is some judgment wondering whether or not they can pay for it. The law of
Right.
assumption expects it. That your service is so valuable that they're going to be willing to pay for it. Now, in some cases, they won't, and that's okay. That's their choice. That's the not being tied to the outcome, right?
Right.
That's I got the meat lovers pizza in the back of the trunk. So, does that resonate with anybody else?
Mhm.
And that's the allowing it, right? Like you're not chasing it, but it's about being confident enough. And you're going to stumble in some of this, Lisa. So don't beat yourself up with it, right? Because it takes some practice. But you're going to stumble a little bit in some of it if she brings up an objection. Just take a moment. It's that I call it my kidney, where we have this cycle, right? When we get nervous, the energy starts to get right?
Mhm.
And so take a moment to calm yourself by taking a deep breath and pause in the moment. Take a
Mhm.
deep breath and say, let's talk about this. Here's what you wanted. That's where those questions from the sales workshop that you went through are so important. Like, here's
Mhm.
what you told me you wanted. And I've even stopped mid conversation with someone because they told me they never in a million years would want to stay in their current job or go back to their current job, I think it was, because it was sucking the life force out of them. Oh yeah, they were in the job and they wanted to do something so they didn't ever have to go back to it. So then when I asked the question, what happens for you if you don't get what you want? They're like, well, I just go back to this job. I'm like, no, did you hear yourself? Like earlier, you were like, it's killing me. I'm never going to go back to this. But it's the way our brain keeps us safe, right? So if you can bring some of that brain science into it, it helps.
So then would you suggest when I text her to send a link to a clarity call or just to start that?
Yeah.
Just schedule, because I have her phone number. We have phone numbers. So, or just let's talk kind of deal.
Well, it depends, right? Because if it's someone that I know, like if it was one of the three of you and you weren't a private client right now, I would just say, hey, what do you got open next Thursday?
Okay.
Right? Or what do you have open on Friday? Let's hop on a call for 30 minutes. Right?
Okay.
If it's somebody that I just met at something and I didn't know them that well and they're, like they're interested, hey, I wanted to follow up. Here's a link to get on my calendar. That's probably easiest versus us going back and forth to try to get something scheduled.
Okay.
I've got some pretty good availability this week, so here's the link, right?
Okay.
So it kind of depends on like how I met them, how well I know them. Sometimes if it's somebody that's like I'll use an example, Lisa, when you said to me, "Hey, I want to chat with you because I know I want to work with you, I just don't know how." I followed up right away and I texted you and said, "Hey, what do you got available?" I didn't send you a link.
Yeah.
Right? So if it's somebody that's super interested, a lot of times I won't send a link because here's the deal. It's all about how easy do you make it to do business with you?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
if I have to click another link, right, then there's a higher probability, or there's a probability then added to the factor that I won't click the link. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
So that's that whole, like, I'm going to do a whole thing in May here in Sandpoint, and it's going to be ridiculously cheap, like $500 for 2 days of immersive like experience. It's going to be called Hello to Hell Yes, right? Like how to generate all the way to, because it's about like that client experience and how do you make it as easy as possible and get the information you need, right? Like if it's you want phone numbers or emails from people, but like what's the easiest way to ascension? Because A, you don't want to make it hard for them because they're already freaking out. Brain science says when they're ready to invest, they're freaking out. Any kind of change we freak out about. So why would I make them do more action when they're already freaked out? Now, if it's I'm speaking at an event, I'm like, here's a QR code, get on my calendar right now, right? And then just know the 80-20 rule applies. And it happened to me too in May, where 20% of the people didn't show. I had 10 people sign up on my calendar, 2 of them were a no-show. And when I texted them, they said, oh, I'm sorry, I had a family wedding or whatever, right? Like they booked it and didn't think about it. Well, that's okay. If they want to reschedule, that's fine, but I'm not going to chase them, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Does that feel better? Because like if you find yourself, do you have a pair of readers or like a cheap pair of glasses somewhere or sunglasses?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you find yourself going into your money stories, I want you to put the glasses on and go, okay, here's my money stories and I'm taking them off. Like I know that sounds ridiculous, but doing something physically different will then pop your mind out of that pattern that you're normally in. That's why I have an easy button sitting on my desk. That's why I have a stuffed squirrel in my windowsill at work, because it reminds me to let the squirrels go back to their nests. I don't need to be squirreling out about stuff, right? So do something to physically, before you get on the call with her, and ground yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to send you I have this ability with my AO scanner. I've been learning about this to like transmute. So I'm going to transmute some healing energy to you today.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And just keep in mind, like the tool that I use is just what's the truth and what's not the truth, right? Like anytime we feel confusion or chaos or even resistance, like what's the untruth?
Right.
And then trust what pings you, because sometimes we women are the best at coming up with all sorts of justifications, right? Like, and oh, I must be thinking that because of this, or this is this, or and we just create these things, right? Like, I mean, I remember when I was getting ready to get divorced, I paid for the Maui condo. I supported our family the whole friggin' 30 years we were married. The man was bringing home $600 every month because he was stocking the rest of it in his 401k, knowing that stuff was going to end. I'm fine with that because it ended up being able to be split. But I thought I wouldn't be able to support myself when in fact I had supported 3 people for 30 years. Right? I mean, that's how, I mean, Linda knows that's how crazy, and I don't like to use the word crazy, but that's how insidious sometimes this happens within our brain, these messages, right? So it's just asking yourself, okay, what's the untruth? And I want to be really honest with myself. Sometimes it's hard to face it, but also not getting frustrated if you don't get to one that feels deeper for you. Just go with the one that comes and then just keep resonating into that, leaning into that. Anybody else resonate with any of that? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's that Anais Nin quote? We see the world as we are, not as it is, I think.
Yeah, so true. And that even rings true to Tina, like, well, I'm just going to do the law of assumption and say all of you are coming to the October retreat. Linda knows I'm talking to her. But one of the things that I ask you to do and even think about what you're going to wear for the weekend is stepping into that woman that's already a part of you, but that you want to embody to do and be who you feel like isn't happening right now, right? And the more and more that we embody that and that energy, and that's where I talk about the grounding and making sure that you're doing the things to remember that it's already in you, that it's there. And, and I would invite you to do that. To Tina and I just met yesterday and really dove into what does that feel like, and really be articulate about what it smells like, what it tastes like, what it sounds like, all of those things, so that when you feel yourself stepping out of that energy, you can go back to that and remind yourself, right? I had another train I was going to go on there and I lost it. So
Right. That was awesome. I'm so glad. If I had been feeling better, I had something else I was going to be doing is going to be miss this. So happened for a reason.
universe is always for us, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. And then let us know how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. I should start like a WhatsApp group between the four of us because you guys are the regulars and
Yeah.
follow up on these calls.
I almost texted you Sunday or Monday because after that I thought, oh, I have this story going on. But then I didn't, cause yeah, then I didn't.
Okay. And what's the resistance there? Let's practice what we just learned.
So I was
Tina,
going
like,
to,
feel free to
I was
ask
gonna,
questions too.
I was gonna text you and thought, because I'm thinking, do I like go half price? Because this is my first paying client. And do I go, offer her a deal, go half price, and then she can do that? And so I was going through these different things and I was thinking, oh, I should text Debbie. And I was like, nope, I don't want to because I don't want her, I don't want her to say, nope, you need to go full price and that,
Well, let me ask you a question, Lisa, because I think there's a deeper story here, right? Linda and Tatina, do you see this? Like why the half price? She doesn't know she's your first client and she's not your first client. She may be your first paying client, but she's not your
Yeah.
first client. So why the half price?
Because it's my first paying client.
But what is that? What are you making that mean? What are you compressing that with for yourself?
So that I'm not as experienced, even though I have had clients at what, so the confidence in myself, I guess, and the confidence to charge that much.
Yeah,
And
so
to
what's the
and to
opposite?
never say no.
Okay, so there's
Or
kind of three things
say
here.
that's too much. Yeah.
But what's the opposite side of that? I mean, frankly, you guys, I mean, I feel like I give value to people now, but it's like when I very first started, I overcompensated. So the first few clients I had got much more than client 3 and 4 because I was overcompensating for my view of my value. So that's the opposite end of that pole, right? Like you're afraid you're not going to give her value when frankly, Lisa, you're going to give her more than what she paid for. Because you're trying to prove your own value to yourself. So all of that, even the pricing, all of that leads back to what? Linda and Tatina, what do you see?
Well, I mean, there's what Lisa said. I feel immediately that it's almost like it's almost like a CYA, right? Cover your ass kind of thing. It's like I'm gonna immediately say, just offer half so that if she's disappointed, she only paid half kind of thing.
Ah,
So that was
yes.
Well, my thought about that is if you start out with half, where do you go from there? I mean, you can't, there's no negotiation unless you just go down less than half. I mean, that's
Mhm.
my first thought is like, if you go full price and she comes back, well, that's a little bit high, then I don't know, you could do something different or not, but if you start out with half price, you're it seems like you're setting a limit there that takes away and cheats you.
And you're not seeing yourself through that lens, right? And I think Tatina hit it really well. And I would say, Lisa, go back and do a little journaling. This is your homework for this afternoon before you actually end up talking to her, before you even text her, right? Like I want you to take 30 minutes and do this. I want you to go back because you're probably going to hit some things here already as we're talking. When was the last time you felt like you disappointed someone, including yourself? Then the
Yeah.
time before that, then the time before that, then the time before that,
Mhm.
right? Because there's a core piece in there somewhere that feels like you're
Mhm.
always disappointing people.
well, and here's the added piece for me too, because I've just FYI, Lisa, I've been there and done that. Okay, so no
Yeah.
judgment there. And here's my experience is that when I've done that, I have almost invariably hit points of resentment within myself because it wasn't an equal energy exchange, you know? And so in the end, the person I'm actually disappointing is me, you know, in that
You mean when you go half price to Tina?
when I go half price. Yeah. Yeah. And so I've learned to kind of just sit with the discomfort
Yeah.
and go, this is what it is, right? And then what that does for me energetically, it holds me to the value of the work too. So if there's almost like if I were to give it for half price, I may end up giving half price, you know, quality of work too. You know, that could
Yeah.
happen. And then and then that fulfills your fear that, you know, it's like a
Yeah.
self-fulfilling prophecy.
And then what I typically do, now I'm not going to say I've never discounted, but typically, like all of you, you know, like I have offered up to previous attendees and previous clients a $500 loyalty bonus if they decided to go to the October retreat, right? So if Linda decided to go, she wouldn't have to pay 2,500, she'd pay 2,000. And so I've done that with people that have been clients of mine because there's the lifetime value of a client too, right? So to me, that looks good as far as like in my mind from a psychology perspective. The other piece of it is, you know, there's going to be some kind of an objection in there somewhere. And so sometimes if I know I'm questioning my value with it, like I'm like, okay, I'm feeling weird about this, then I'll bonus some things where I'm like, you know what? I'll bonus you then for the 4 weeks out of the 8 that we're working together. Every other week, I'm going to send you a meal plan that has 90 grams of protein, 12 gram, whatever. I don't know all the stuff, right? So much fiber. And then you get on Chat GPT and you put in what they're without dairy and whatever that they can't eat, have them pop you out a thing and send it to them. You follow me? Like
Mhm.
have some kind of bonus
Mm.
that someone might want versus discounting. Because when you discount, you're saying to that client too that you don't see the value in your service.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Those are all real good points. And to Tina, you hit it on the head with disappointing.
Yeah. Nicely done. Anybody else have anything? Or Lisa, do you feel like that's complete for you?
Yes.
Okay. Let us know.
Okay.
Did Tina or Linda, anything going on with you?
Hmm. Well, always plenty, but but I'm used to that, you know. I live in the fluidity of emotions. What I'm noticing today, I'm starting tomorrow, I'm starting a 4 week program. The thing I love about it is that I'm full on allowing myself to get creative with it, which is what I ultimately what I want to do. But there's two things coming up for me. There's some of that, oh my God, are they going to like it kind of thing. I had two people sign up. I would have liked to have had more, and I am working hard at not making that mean anything. But you know, and I sent them an email this morning with you know how to prepare for tomorrow, and really consciously, instead of going, oh well, there's only two of you, I wrote instead. I said, "Oh, it's going to be an intimate group, which is great because it'll give you more time for some laser coaching kind of thing." So I flipped it around for myself, you know. But it's something new that I'm doing, so there's going to be some anxiety. There's an unknown there, you know.
Absolutely. And to Tina, what I love about that, and I want all of you to see this, is it shifts you into gratitude
Yeah,
versus the gap thinking, right?
yeah,
Versus gap thinking of, oh, I didn't get more people that I wanted, versus the universe is always for us. And there's a reason there's two,
yeah, yeah,
right?
exactly. And so that
Yeah.
and that really, what that helped me do was go, you know, if I were to look at that as a finite resource, then you know I'll go into lack, right? But if I see it as just a piece in the bigger picture, but I don't know how that's going to play out, but I'm already just sort of saying, you know, I have no idea what this is gonna lead to, but I know it's leading to something, and you know, and then to kind of be okay with that. So but I think what it was a little bit of a shame piece that came up for me of like, oh, and I put work into marketing and all that. I
Yeah.
even did a couple little, boosting paid ads. I've put emails out, several of them, which I don't love doing a whole bunch of emails, but I've decided to get over myself on that one. It's like, whatever. I accept them from other people, so why wouldn't other people? And if they unsubscribe, well, that's just, they're just not the client for me. Or they come back. Some of them do actually. I've got a
Yeah.
current client that unsubscribed and now she's a client.
Yeah.
So there's that. So what I'm noticing is that when I hit something like that, I'm going to start tomorrow, which I will be totally fine in the moment, but it's the preemptive nerves. I go into total ADD mode, and a little like a teeny bit of sabotage too. So I guess I just want to put out there that I want to be really conscious of that. And sabotage for me can look like, leaving the last minute arrangements because I'm going to set it's online and I need to set up all the things and to prepare that earlier rather than later, and have that done and to go to bed early too, because that's another way that I sabotage is by ending up going to bed too late and then, yeah.
So what
So,
are you going to put into play? Because up until now,
yeah.
that's how you've maneuvered. And
Mhm.
so going forward, you're going to get a good night's rest
Yeah.
and you're going to at least have gone out and tested the technology because sometimes there's things you just can't do until that
Right.
moment starts,
Right.
right?
Well, I like to get on early anyway. Yeah, I don't just get on at the time.
So up until this time, you've done things differently. So how are you going to do it different? What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, today it literally set an actual time slot, schedule that time slot for me to do the setup. And I'm committing to you guys that I'm starting that at 2 o'clock today. So, after this call, a little bit of lunch, whatever, and set it up. And then after that, I'm actually going to sit down and do breath work, which really helps to center me. And it kind of just pulls everything together. Um, and then literally like, kind of I have my phone gripe at me and send me a message about going to bed at a certain time, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, and
just,
Tatina, because you're really big into rituals too, I might invite you into thinking about how fun it could be to create a little ritual for yourself tonight,
Mhm.
like an hour before you really want to get to
Yeah.
bed. Like,
I'm actually going to do a little I'm going to do a little fire ceremony actually
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm stepping into the portal as much as they are. I mean, I do that with the medicine wheel. We always start with a fire
Yeah.
um
But
because it signals something.
I want it to be different, right? Like you're talking about you always do certain things. What I mean is a ritual about going to bed. Right.
Uh,
You reminded me that I made tea for myself and I left it sitting over on the counter. Like I'm going to start 30 minutes before I get ready for bed. I'm going to hop on and listen to some calming Hertz music that's all about abundance. I'm going to drink a nice cup of chamomile tea. Like create a little something for yourself that's that turns it into like something kind of flowy and fun for you about, hey, I'm preparing for this and going to bed, right? Like I know you do your other, but like specifically about going to bed.
mm-hmm. Sure. No, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um,
Nice.
yeah, and I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that today, but that at some point I would like to talk about, I've been in sort of kind of launch and rolling mode for the last few weeks, and that's felt good. I feel like I've grown through that. And but I feel like I need to pop out to a bigger level of the seeing the overall of the business because it feels right now like it's a lot of disparate little pieces and it's like how can I integrate it where it really makes sense for for instance for the amount of money that you and I talked about yesterday during coaching, and what does that yes, what does that look, feel, and all that, and how does it make sense to start putting those pieces together, in a way that, yeah, that allows for, yeah, for continuous growth.
Yeah, so I want to bring up to you as you're saying that, for some reason I ended up with 2 Get Shit Done days on my calendar this last month. We have another Get Shit Done day scheduled, and most of you responded yes. Um, Linda, I don't see you on this invite list, but it's next Friday, the 17th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And Tatina, I see you as a yes. Lisa, I see you as a yes. So here's my recommendation to you. Like, I was just right before this call working with a friend of mine who owns 2 condos side by side, like 1-bedroom little condos out at Cave B. Do you know where I'm talking about? I've never been there. It's out on the Columbia Gorge. It's where that big music festival thing
Oh,
is.
yeah.
And we're getting together not the first weekend in November, but the second weekend in November. And we're going to plan out our whole 2026, right? Like, not just plan it out, but look at and say, okay, if I'm having an event in May, when do I need to start marketing that, right? Because there is always in the coaching world a launch, right? Like, whether or not you've got your constant private client line, like you're constantly, it just is a part of the business model. So then when does that, you got to back that up by so many months of when do you need to start with the emails? When do you need to start with the posts? Then, okay, when do I need to create those? And you kind of back engineer it. That's the masculine structure, right? But we're also going to do feminine stuff. But I would recommend to you, even during that Get Shit Done day, start to map out, like, you're always going to do a medicine wheel in the fall.
Hmm.
So go ahead and plan the date for the next one. And then start to back engineer, what are the other things that I'm offering? I have this package. Do I want to do another kind of thing like this 4-week thing? And how should I space those out if I want to do those? Right? Like, just start to kind of think through some of those things, and feel free to WhatsApp me as you're working on some of these, but use some of that time maybe during the Get Shit Done day to even do that, and schedule out some time to look at 2026.
Hmm.
Like, I've already got the calendar mapped out. And if you guys want, I was actually looking at this. Bear with me here for a second. Where is resources? HIJKLMNOP Was it under here? I have a resource that I want to share with you guys that I'm happy to share
But
with you.
by the way, Debbie, while you're looking for that, I actually won't be able to make that Get Shit Done day because I'm actually going to Florida for Endo Mastery. I'm helping
Oh,
some.
yeah, to help. That's
I'm
right.
helping.
Well, I'll have to find it, but it's a calendar.
Hmm.
I'll just show you my 2026 because I've already got it somewhat mapped out.
Hmm.
So I've got 2026 already on here. And I've got this little Excel spreadsheet that just has the months so that I know like what's happening, right? I've got my travel, I've got speaking engagements, I've got when my mastermind is, I've got when the workshop is, when the October, like, it helps you kind of map out events or things that you have going on. I'm happy to share that when I can find the blank one. Um, and then I have a sheet too that shows, and I've got it broken out by my programs, but you can do the same thing. I've talked to you before about how I list everybody out, and then it shows my monthly income, and then it maps it down to an annual income. And then if it's a trade or not, I have the value in there. And then I also have gratitude, right? That I go through and I look at every month, and then I express gratitude for like all 3 of you. I have gratitude that I'm sending out for each one of you. So I'm happy to share those 2 with you if it will help you in your planning as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
That'd be
definitely.
great.
I'd like to see that too.
Okay. I've been promising a whole lot of stuff. I better write this down. So I need to send intros and the calendar and income projection. Okay. Did that help,
Yeah.
Titina?
That was great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
Good
Linda.
luck.
Yeah. She's
You
gonna
say you
knock
start
it out.
tomorrow?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's another part of me that's actually excited. So, because I like to flow and play and connect and yeah.
Yeah, and Tatina, I'm going to offer up to you if it helps you. Sometimes I know, like when I would walk early in the morning, knowing my friend was standing at the corner waiting for me in the cold winter day, I would get out of bed more frequently than I would if she wasn't waiting for me.
Right.
So if it helps you, like each time you meet with them or like periodically through the week, send me like things that you're grateful for about these two people in this program and what you're learning. Like do that in WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I'll just
Oh,
invite you
I'd
to
like
do that.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Linda, what about you? Anything happening in your world?
Yes, we've had a very full summer. Income has been up. And then in September, there was that transition from summer to fall where we had a drop in clients. And that, of course, stirred up, as you will remember, my money stories. And so I've been really looking at that. And I love what you said is, what is the untruth? That's really important. And I've also looked at the business from the 10,000 foot level, and I'm making a shift with our website, and I do have somebody that's working with us to help with marketing and also the finance part of it. But because the whole focus of the website has been the neuro brain maps, but we're also licensed MFTs, and so counseling,
What is an MFT?
marriage and family therapist. And so that's one of that's a really top level therapy program. So I'm shifting that to not diminish the brain work, but also to increase the counseling, because oftentimes, like I'm seeing one client, and I've seen her for probably 2, 3 months, and she's just now ready for a brain map. So that is what I want to increase our clients with coming in, just make an appointment for a consult, come in, and it's not like you have to have a brain map to come and see us.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of got out there. We've never said that. So I'm looking at the changing things on the website and also just on with my client manager and how she answers the phone and what we do to increase and get that. To me, that was kind of a big revelation. Like, okay, Linda, this is because, you know, we don't have a waiting list. We get people in right away, and that part of that is because when we treat the brain, people come and they get treated, and we graduate them and they go on, which is really good. That's what we love. But also, we're missing a part of the population that we can really help by coming in, and you don't have to have the brain map just to come in and get counseling.
Yeah, I think that's wise. And Linda, one of the things too, I know you have somebody helping you with that landing page, but when you're thinking about content, and again, I'm going to go back to AI, that I've taken my entire website and have been doing this. And we did the landing page last week where
Yeah.
and I just copied and pasted, like just went up and like highlighted the whole thing, copied
Yeah.
and pasted it into a Word document. Then depending on which chat GPT you have, if it's free, I don't think you can add documents. You may be able to, I'm not sure. But then I just added the document in chat GPT and I said, can you rework this? But I put parameters in there, right? And so sometimes I use the microphone because it's
Yeah.
easier for me to talk
Right.
and then it transcribes it. And you can say, I would like the content to continue to have information about brain mapping, but also include family and marriage therapy or family and
Uh,
whatever you said. And I want it to be in like a tone of how it changes their lives to
yeah.
this and this, right? Because it gets you to start. Because a lot of times,
Like
what we
that.
do as entrepreneurs, you guys, is we hire marketing people and then go do the marketing.
Right.
But it's still our brand voice. It still has to stand for who we are. So then it gets you started to be able to give to this person, right? Here's some of the verbiage I like that I would like on here, or here's what I want on the landing page. You put all the widgets together with the pictures and the blocks and all that kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So throw that in there, but put parameters on it. And it might come back and say, oh, do you want me to make a quicker blah, 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 right? I've done the same thing. You guys will see some changes towards the end of October. And Tatina and Lisa will see it at the October retreat. The new program coaches that I have for the mastermind, I've gone through every single one of theirs and said, rewrite this bio more succinct and make it bolder on what the ROI is for the customer. What are they going to get out of this, right? And so,
like
and it
that a lot.
really, it helps prompt some things differently than how you would say it. And that way you can give your marketing person some stuff so they're not wasting a lot of time trying to get your voice. They've already got your voice.
No, I really like that. And I have started using AI more.
Mhm.
In fact, I did have them. I went in with AI and I said, okay, described marriage and family therapists and you know what they do and all that. And so I already did that, but I like the idea of, and I do have the paid account, so I did, you know, succumb to that. So because I just find it very intriguing, but I never thought about putting our landing page on there because that's really huge on, you know, when people come to look at our clinic, they go, most often they go there. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
like that a lot.
Good. And then, yeah, just keep reminding yourself you're not starving. And something I tend to do when and I'm not going to lie to you, right? Because I'm looking at a $26,000 American Express bill because I just paid for that big O London trip for all my mastermind, right? And it's not that the money's not in the bank, but not all of it's there. And so sometimes to help me put the squirrels back in the nest, I go through and I say, okay, how much is my house payment? How much is my, this? Like go through and remind yourself, what's the bare, like, what is it that you really need to exist? You don't have
Yeah.
that many bills,
Right.
right? And so for me, that relieves the pressure. It's not that I'm still not paying myself the same amount, but it does something different to my brain and it helps relieve the pressure of, oh yeah. And then when I figured out the money, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's there. It's coming, right? Like how ye of little faith, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a good reminder and evidence that it happens. Yeah, but I think that's also smart, right? I think it's smart to look at other avenues of income as you're going forward because part of how you make more money is you either sell more of what you have, you either add a revenue stream, or you raise your prices.
Yeah.
Three pretty simple things. And you can do all three or pick one, right? And so I think you're kind of looking at, okay, what's some other revenue stream that maybe we haven't highlighted as much?
Right.
And remind yourself, Linda, it was a few short, how many years ago did you start this clinic?
3.5.
Yeah, so you went from 0 to what's your gross revenue?
It's getting close to 400. Okay.
Yeah, in 3 years.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me of that because it's been quite a journey, Debbie. You started me out on this. I mean, I started with you on this where it was nothing.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah,
So, thank you.
yeah, my pleasure. It's what I live for. I love it. Not my grandkids and my dog.
That'll-
Okay, ladies, love you dearly. Have a fabulous week. Please stay in touch on WhatsApp and let me know how it's going. And I'll talk to you all soon at your next appointment.
Okay.
Bye,
Right.
everybody.
Not, then I
Bye.
will see you on the 23rd. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, which reminds me, for those of you that are local, I know, Lisa, you're staying here. We do have a little surprise that just came to fruition yesterday that will happen Friday evening at about 6:30. So try not to make plans on Friday. I typically tell people try not to make plans anyway when you come to these retreats, but we're going to do a nice little thing. And those of you that are local, if you happen to have a yoga mat, stick it in your car.
Mhm.
We're not doing yoga, but stick a yoga mat in your car. Okay. Love you
Right.
guys.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.